I really don't care if we have home court advantage or not. I really do believe we can beat all three of these teams in a first round matchup as of right now with a fully healthy roster. Hey there, and welcome back to the Mini Weekend. I'm your host, Jack. Let's get into it, Mini. Drink of the podcast. Well, that is good. Coming to you guys tonight with our 10 things we have to talk to you about April 9th. Pretty crazy. Once again, if you're new here, we've been doing our new outline where we come at you guys with each episode, our 10 things to talk about. And we always start off with our patented drink of the podcast. Without further ado, tonight's drink of the podcast is the brand is called Dad's Old Fashioned, and it's the root beer. It is not a Minnesota local company, but this is a brand company that has been recommended to me before. And I was looking it up. We have not done it before. We're going to do it. They're actually based out of Indiana. And I have to say, it's good. And I'm not knocking this brand at all, but it tastes like the exact same as like 1919 root beer. So naturally, I'm like, it's amazing. I love 1919 root beer. As far as I'm concerned, you got 1919's root beer, you got Barks root beer, A&W root beer, and those are like the elite of the elite. Like those are like the top three as far as root beer is concerned. So this is, whether it's the exact same recipe or just happens to taste exactly like it, this is elite. I don't even think I need to wait to give this a rating. We're gonna go ahead and give this a 9.8. You guys that have been around for a while, 9.8. You guys that have been around for a while know that I am a huge root beer fan. Now, I understand if you don't like root beer, you probably wouldn't rate it this high, but being somebody who loves root beer, I love the taste of it. Maybe it's Barks. It's been a while since I've had either of them. But it's hard to describe this taste. If you know 1919, it's either 1919 or Barks. Like I said, it's been a while, but if it's one of those two, it tastes exactly like it. So if you like root beer, yes, this is a must-have. And if you don't like it, or if you've never tried it, you're not sure how you feel about it, try it. And if you don't like it, you can blame me. And if you do, you're welcome. So yeah, a little bit about Dad's Old Fashioned root beer. I was under the impression it was just like a single root beer thing, small mom and pop shop, everything. And that is the case, but it's actually they have different brands. So the brand itself is Dad's Old Fashioned. Dad's Old Fashioned, but they actually have a ton of different flavors. So they got root beer, they got the diet, they got Dad's cream soda, Dad's red cream soda, blue cream soda, orange cream soda, Bubble Up, Dr. Wells, and Suncrest. And they have some other cool things that you can purchase on their website too. It's just Dad's root beer. If you've had any of these other flavors, please let me know. And I want to try them out and let us know what we should be trying next. Like I said, dadsrootbeer.com. They have their nice home area, great patented root beer taste. You can read a little bit up on their history. They have their official merch as well. You can get socks, t-shirt, mug, and a 4-pack of lip balm. You can find where you can buy these. You can sign up to be a distributor for them as well. So go check them out. I recommend them. This is the first time we've tried them, and I am very pleased with it. That we're going to have to find out where to get some of these other ones and try these out on the podcast as well. So Dad's Old Fashioned Root Beer, dadsrootbeer.com. You can find them on Facebook, X, and Instagram. And one last time, 9.8. Root Beer fans, go try it out. You will not be disappointed. All right, the second thing, after today, we will officially be done, with Tommy winter sports. But we do have something to bring up and highlight today. It's Ben Oosterbaan accolades. He was selected to the first Career Summit Academic All-League team. And it was announced just yesterday. It says the redshirt sophomore forward was the third Tommy selected to the team since the inception of them at the D1 level. Recognizing his academic and athletic success, the league office announced just yesterday, like I said. The other two were Bert Hedstrom on the 21-22 team and Parker Bjorklund, who did it in the 2022-23 season and the 23-24 season. He's a finance major from Hinsdale, Illinois. He started in all 34 games for the Tommies this last year and averaged 7.6 points per game and 4.2 rebounds per game, shooting just under 50% from the floor and averaged 19.5 during the 2026 Summit League Championship. And it's worth noting, too, in order to qualify for the Summit Academic All-League team, individuals must have at least a 3.3 cumulative career GPA to be in their second full academic year at the current institution and participated in at least 50% of their team's completed games. So a huge congratulations to him. There were 5 total players named to this team. 2 of them from North Dakota State, a kid from South Dakota State, Ben Oosterban, and then from Omaha. A huge congratulations to him. Once again, like we always say, no easy feat. Obviously they're called student athletes for a reason, so hats off to him for being great in the classroom, but then being a big contributor to this really good men's basketball team this year. So that's what we had for them here. And then the third thing we wanted to bring up, the conclusion of March Madness and the mini weekend bracket challenge winners. So the funny thing is, 7 of the top 8 teams that finished in our bracket challenge actually picked Michigan to win the entire thing. So congratulations to everybody. A couple of you guys of the 8 I'm about to name off here, I know who you are, so I will reach out. But for the ones that don't, I will say so. And please reach out to me if you can. Find me mini weekend on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Reach out to me. Tell me who you are. Tell me which one is yours, and we will get you merch sent over. So without further ado, Daisy 2 won the entire thing with a total of 1,450 points. Chicken Dinner came in second place with 1,390 points. Third place was a tie between Instagram TBT, TB2 Scully, and Sully 2, both with 1,340 points. For you 4, please reach out. And then that type deals picks 4, finished in 5th with 1,320. Tiger Woods with 1,250. And then please reach out, Tiger Woods. And then Cash Money Molly 2, tied for 7th with 1,240 points, with ESPN fan 48912 picks 2, and they picked UConn. So that last one I just rattled off 2. Please reach out so we can get you your merch. If you don't, unfortunately, I've actually reached out to ESPN and they should do this, but unfortunately, there's no way for me to get to the profile of you guys. I think it'd be a real cool thing to be able to just find out the profile, find out email, or a way you can message them on ESPN. But yes, please reach out, and we want to get you your merch. Congratulations to everybody who took place. Once again, I feel like every single year our group just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So can't thank you guys enough. Hope everybody had fun doing it too. I know I did. All right, those are the first 3 things. The fourth thing, we got, the NCAA men's Frozen Four in action right now. Earlier today, Wisconsin had a huge upset. Can't believe I'm saying this because I can't stand Wisconsin being a Minnesota boy. They upset the number 2 overall ranked team in the tournament, North Dakota Fighting Hawks. 2-1 to advance to their first national championship game since 2010, and they will play for their first NCAA championships since 2006, and would give them their 7th overall. Right now, we have number 1 Michigan and Denver both playing at a deadlock of 2 apiece for national championships. Michigan is looking to tie Denver for 10 national championships, and Denver is looking to have a 2 national championship lead over anybody else in the field, as Denver sits alone with 10 national championships right now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Obviously it's pretty crazy to see 2 Big Ten teams, or I don't even think it's Big Ten teams, but yeah, 2 of those teams in the NCAA championship Final Four. So yeah, can't wait to see who gets to face off against Wisconsin. And truthfully, between me, whoever wins this game, I'm actually rooting for to beat Wisconsin. So yeah, there's that. That's who I'm rooting for. Final 3 teams. Congratulations to North Dakota. Just give me a little bit. Honestly, I would have rather seen North Dakota beat everybody than Wisconsin. And that says something because I'm a big Gopher hockey guy too. And then the fifth thing I wanted to bring up, so it is Masters weekend. Today concluded day one of the Masters, which seems just insane. And after the first day, we have Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy atop the leaderboard, both tied for 5 under. Three players, we got Kurt Kitayama, Jason Day, and Patrick Reed, all tied for third at 3 under. And then after that, you got Shane Lowry, Xander Schauffele, Justin Rose, Scotty Scheffler, tied for sixth with all under 2 at this point. So really awesome. And I mean, really cool if you're a golf fan. It's pretty nice to see. I mean, of those top 9 players, I mean, I've heard of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've heard of 8 or 9 of them. So it's pretty fun and always nice to see kind of the guys you're used to seeing and the big names atop the leaderboard. But the main reason I wanted to bring up the Masters was it seems like there is a lot of criticism around the Masters this time around, and it is kind of coming from the lifers, and they're calling out the Masters for not sticking to their roots, similar to like MLB baseball here. So I just want to read off a little bit of this article that I was read too. So for many years, the Masters has remained an event closely followed by many, but primarily watched by fans who truly adore the sport. However, this year, the major looks different from most others and many have ESPN to blame for it. Unlike most events, the Masters collects $0 from broadcaster. This year, for the first edition of the tournament, Amazon Prime has joined ESPN and CBS in covering the major. Despite the addition, ESPN has grabbed most of the headlines, but largely for the wrong reasons. The legendary sport network drew criticism when it introduced Pat McAfee, Bert Kreischer, and Jason Kelsey as part of the Par 3 contest broadcast on Wednesday, but things didn't stop there for day one coverage. ESPN also brought in WWE superstar The Miz to discuss golf, and you even saw Travis Kelsey have been involved in it, and Kevin Hart, and this is kind of my 2 cents on the whole thing. I think it resembles very much of the MLB a couple years ago when they were trying to put in some of these different rules, and the lifers were saying, fuck the pitch clock. Why are we adding things to the game? When in reality, the MLB was kind of in an interesting spot where they were losing a lot of fans and they were trying to find ways to get people engaged, especially this younger generation. Now, I'm not saying, golf has to grab this younger generation, because I think these generations grow up with parents and dads and appreciate the sport. But I think there's something to be said that if you don't change with the times, you're apt to just kind of be forgotten. And I don't think that is the case. But I'm kind of split on this, because on some of these things, like, I mean, shit, I was sitting down getting my hair cut earlier today, seeing Jason Kelsey all over the TV and getting a kick out of it, because he's beloved by a lot of people, super loyal to the Eagles, wonderful football player. But what does he know about, golf? I think so. My 2 cents on it is I think it's fun to kind of draw a different crowd and get more people into golf and into the Masters and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, at what cost? Like, because like if it were my opinion, like, Pat McAfee is just a well-renowned sports analyst, so I would be like, yep, bring him on board. Bert Kreischer, I probably wouldn't bring him on. He's not typically known for for his sports acumen. But Kevin Hart, again, another guy, I could see why you wouldn't want it. I could see why you would, because he's well renowned. He's a big name. But then for sure, like The Miz, like, there's no need to do that. And it sounds like this all kind of came from another article I read earlier today, that essentially somebody at the top of the PGA talked about a couple years ago having Dude Perfect out. They were doing some trick shots on the course, and the guy essentially had a quote somewhat like, it was super cool. They're super awesome guys, and it was fun to have that experience. But in retrospect, it probably wasn't the best idea as far as keeping the ingenuity or the integrity of the game per se. But again, the PGA, just like the MLB, just like the NHL, just like all these teams, they have a They have an image to keep up, and they ultimately get to say what they want to do. Now we can do the same thing by not watching it. But I think having some of this stuff is kind of cool and it's kind of fun and it keeps you engaged. But I think you got to draw a line somewhere. Like, I don't think a WWE star needs to be brought on, or a guy like Burt Kreischer, who's not particularly in the sports realm. But again, at the same time, Pat McAfee to me makes sense. Even Kevin Hart to some extent makes sense because the dude is just everywhere. But Burt Kreischer, he's not necessarily everywhere, and he's not really known for his sports stuff. Then again, I'm just a small content creator, podcaster. What do I know? But that's my 2 cents on the whole thing. I hope all of you guys don't get too bent out of shape on this one. So that's what I had to say about that. And yeah, sixth up on our list, Unreal UNRL. As you guys can see, we are rocking some sweet, sweet, sweet new apparel. We got, of course, on my bucket, we got the 126th of the US Open Mid-Pro Vented Rope Snapback. Really cool. Obviously, you can see the rope here. You can see the logo on the front, and then boom, just like everything else vented. And I love the fact that it's navy. I don't have this color in UNRL stuff yet. And on top of that, it's really cool that this back thing is like that coconut color too. Love that. And then we're rocking there. It's the US Open Terra Blend hoodie. So it's the one of the only two items in the capsule that is completely sold out. And I love it because of the unique design on the back. If you can't see, I'm doing the best I can to get this to you guys, but if you can't see it, go to unrl.com and check it out. Unfortunately, if you haven't already, you can't buy it, but it's super unique. And this TerraBlend hoodie, guys, they need to make more of this TerraBlend material. I was trying to look it up. It says, and it describes it the best. It's a heavyweight hoodie with a clean, structured feel. TerraBlend fabric adds stretch without losing shape. Finished with elevated details and US Open branding. So it's almost one of those, like, it's a heavyweight feeling hoodie, but it's not overbearing, and it's still kind of got like that buttery feel of like their ultra shirts and their ultra long sleeves and the ultra hoodies. It's so unique. They need to come up with more of these Thera. What it's just to be more of these out there. So so unbelievably comfy, and I love the coconut feel of it. And then yeah, like I said, we talk about them every single week because I can't get enough of them. These products are truly unreal. If you go to their website, unrl.com, you can see everything that they got coming up. They just dropped some stuff with Rapala. You can still go on and buy most of the stuff from their US Open collection. Not sure yet if they're going to be doing more than one drops this summer for the Twins, but they have their third drop for the Minnesota Loons coming out, and it looks like this one is a must have it, as it's like one of the light blues, and it's going to drop on April 14th online, and then few days later, it'll drop in stadium as well. But just like every time, you guys know I'm going to give you my spiel. Go check them out. They are the top of the line in athleisure. They have everything from golf apparel, lounging apparel, traveling apparel, stuff you can wear to work, things you can work out in. Like, there is something for everybody. If you don't think there is, hand to God, go check them out, and they will prove you wrong. There's like, they just have an abundance of things. They have so many different cool collaborations. You can go in their lookbook and see what they've done in the past, and you can see what they have coming up. Right now, the only thing that I can see that they have coming up is that third drop of the Loons. But they're always doing something, and you know it's not going to be long until football season is coming up. And I don't know for sure, but if there is one thing I know about UNRL Unreal, they love football, so there probably will be more stuff coming out this fall, but I do not know that for sure, so don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, more than anything, and before we go on to the next segment, like I said, go check them out, unrl.com. You can find them all over social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and make sure you check out the description in our YouTube video, as you can get $15 off your first order. $15 off your first order, and can accrue points to use on future orders, anywhere from $15 to $50 off. And make sure you tell them, their friends from the mini weekend, Sent you guys. All right. So with that, I'm gonna try sticking with you guys true here. We have it on mute, but we do have the Minnesota Dallas game on live right now. The Wild coming into the second period, we're up 2-1, coming up on 16 minutes remaining in the second, and we're still holding a 2-1 lead, skating 4-on-4 right now. So yeah, those were the first 6 things. The 7th thing I wanted to bring up, guys, again, I'm not saying they're going to be the elite of the elite, but the Minnesota Twins just rolled the Detroit Tigers. They're sitting at 7-6 right now. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they've won 6 of their last 8 games, which is crazy to think about. Already on the pitching side of things, you got Taj Bradley with already 2 wins. You have 1, 2, 3 players with 13 or more strikeouts. Haley Ober has been playing well. I mean, again, one of the gripes about the Twins the last couple of years has been the pitching. So if they can get some good pitching, get deep into the uh game and only have to rely on so many relief pitchers, we should be sitting pretty well. But yeah, like I said, specifically talking about the Twins over the Tigers, just won 4 straight against them. They weren't necessarily huge games, but they won 7-3, 4-2, 8-6, and 3-1. And again, it's games like those that if this team is going to try to be competitive, it's those kind of games that you gotta win. I mean, this last one earlier today, 3-1. They were we got the lead 1-0 in the 4th, and then Detroit tied it up in the 7th, and then they had a 2-run 8th inning to really win the game. So it's one of those adages that it's just like golf, or it's just like any other sport where you have to take each inning at a time, but you just got to keep plugging away. I got to be honest, some of these guys on our roster that I've been watching some of these games, I don't even know half these guys, but they're batting well, they're swinging well, and they're making plays. And 7-6, 13 games into the season, not super far into it, but already you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with at least 1 home run. Josh Bell and Matt Wallner both with 3. Royce Lewis has 2. RBIs, Josh Bell's got 10, Tristan Gray 8, Royce Lewis 8, Kurt Keschel with 7. So again, if you can get some reliable guys with some good numbers and answering the bell early on, the Twins. I think if they could make the playoffs, I think that would be doable with how lackluster this AL Central is going to look. But if they can stay competitive, that's all I'm really looking for them to do. So hats off to them for this, relatively speaking, strong start. And we'll have to see how far this rolls on to. 8th up, Minnesota Wild signings. So on the 6th, we signed defenseman Viking Gustafsson Nyberg to an amateur tryout, while also signing forward Charlie Stramel to a 3-year entry-level contract despite him being injured. Obviously, he's injured, so this is a smart move by the Wild to make it not going into place until next year. Stramel, who's only 21 years old, cleared 44 points, 19 goals, and 25 assists. Is a 7-game winning goals, 5 power play goals, 15 penalty minutes, and a plus 29 rating in 37 games during his senior season with Michigan State. He's 6'3", native of Rosemount, Minnesota, and he led the Spartans to a Big Ten in all Big Ten skaters with 483 face-off wins. So he will definitely be a huge addition center-wise to this team. But we selected him with the 21st overall selection in the 2023 NFL draft, and he'll wear number 15 for the Wild. And if he shows signs this upcoming year of what he was able to do this year and earlier on at Michigan State, I think we should have a really, really strong core of centers with Stramel, Hartman, and Eric Sinek. Hartman, if we keep him, I think he's a free agent after this upcoming season. So a huge signing for the Wild. And then on the 9th, on the 9th, Wild, technically just earlier today, inked a deal with what's his name? He's a 22-year-old. His name's Gustav Nyberg. He played 2 games with the Iowa Wild in the AHL this week on an amateur tryout basis, and he'll be available for the Wild. There's these final 4 games in the regular season. He's 6'6", 225 pounds. He led UConn with a +18 rating this season in helping the Huskies reach the NCAA tournament. And yeah, so I mean, you see, hell yeah, let's go. You see us signing Stramel. You see us signing this guy. I mean, I think right now this Wild team, if we can get past Dallas in the first round, we have just as good a shot as anybody to win the cup. This team is just strong up and down the lineup. You got good forwards, you got good defensemen, guys that are strong skaters, guys that do well on the faceoff dot, and just find ways to win and score. Kaprizov just got a second one of the game to put us up 3-1 in the second here. We're looking good the next couple of years too. Now, obviously, you still gotta, guys have to produce and that kind of thing, and you also guys have to produce and stay healthy. But sky's the limit for this team and franchise the next couple of years, as far as I'm concerned. All right, 9th thing I wanted to talk about. So we are now getting down to the final. What's that? Final 2 games for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And currently, right now, playoff picture: Thunder got the 1 seed. Spurs have the number 1 seed, and Spurs have the number 2 seed. Would play the winner of the Suns and Clippers, and then the Nuggets are 3. We are 6 and would play the Nuggets. 4-5 game would be the Lakers hosting the Rockets. And yeah, that's how they got that. And then obviously the Thunder would play the winner of the Blazers. The loser of the Suns Clippers would play the winner of the Blazers and Warriors. I'm guessing it's going to be the Blazers and the Blazers and the Clippers, probably. Blazers and the Clippers. And I mean, the Thunder should have no problem with that, but that's how it's sitting right now. But I thought we would just briefly talk about our first round potential opponents. So as of right now, there are only 3 possible teams that we could be playing come playoff time. And they are the Los Angeles Lakers, the Houston Rockets, and the Denver Nuggets. And I really quickly am going to go through 1 to 3 who I would rather play in the first round, but I want to preface this by saying I really don't care if we have home court advantage or not. I really do believe we can beat all 3 of these teams in a first round matchup as of right now with a fully healthy roster. So number 1 to 3, 1 being this is the team I would ideally want to play. This is the second most likely team I would want to play, and a third most likely team I would want to play. And I don't think you guys are going to be surprised by this one at all. Number 1, the Los Angeles Lakers. Their best player, Luka Doncic, is out indefinitely and more than likely going to be out for at least the first round matchup. Their second best player, Austin Reeves, is going to be out for at least a month. So unless they make it to like the conference finals, probably isn't going to be playing. And LeBron James is going to be out these next couple days. And with how old he is and with how much I respect the man, he's probably not going to be 100% going into that first round series. So if there's a way, and again, with those 3 guys out, I don't know how they're going to how it's going to happen. But if the Lakers, who sit only a game and a half behind the Denver Nuggets, if they could find a way to get into the 3rd spot so that we could play them, that would be the most ideal matchup for the Timberwolves, regardless of who has home ice advantage. And then, so the second most likely team I would want to play in the first round is the Houston Rockets. And the reason I say that, a lot of people might be saying, Jack, this is arguably one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Why would this be number 2 instead of 3? Despite how good this team is, outside of Kevin Durant, this team is very young and does not have a whole lot of deep playoff experience. Alperen Sengun is a great player, he in his own right. Amen Thompson is great. Jabari Smith Jr. is great. Reed Shepard is awesome. Steven Adams. But outside of Steven Adams, who's like the 7th or 8th guy, and Kevin Durant, nobody on this team really has that much playoff depth. So it would ultimately come down to who's, top 6, 7 players are going to show up more. Who are you going to trust more? And if I'm being completely honest, it's going to be the Timberwolves, not just because I'm a Timberwolves fan, but just because I'm going to trust, with how deep of a run we've made these last 2 years, I'm going to trust, a top 8 of I'm going to trust the top 8 of Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jade McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Bones Highland, Ayo Desamu, Naz Reid and Terrence Shannon Jr., I'm going to trust those 9 guys a little bit more, given what they've proven, than KD, Şengün, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith, Reed Shepard, and Steven Adams. Like, call me crazy, but our 9 guys have proven more and have more experience and know what it takes to win some of those big games that come down to crunch time. Plus, we have beaten a Kevin Durant led team that was supposed to beat us, and we could do it again. And then the third most likely team I would want to play is the Denver Nuggets. Again, a lot of people might be saying, why on earth would you even want to play them? Jokic is playing really great. They're coming into their own. They've won, 10 in a row? And again, they're a beatable team. If you look at if you look at our record against these teams, come on. And then you look at the Denver Nuggets, and despite how good people say they are and that they are good, coming into the playoffs, we have beaten them 3 times out of 1. And the one time that they did beat us, it was a close game that went into double overtime that was pretty bullshit if you ask me. But they played well, and I thought we played well too. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. More than likely too, if I'm the Timberwolves, I'd really rather us play in that 6 seed game so that if we can get by the 3rd seeded team, we can see a young Spurs team in the second round instead of the Oklahoma City Thunder in that second round. But again, you have to you have to beat the team that's in front of you before you get too high and too ahead of yourselves. That's what I got. And then before we get onto our last topic, stay tuned. Within the next week, 9 days, we will be coming at you guys with NHL playoff and NBA playoff preview. I just have to iron out dates, and as soon as I know, I will let you guys know, and we'll more than likely post it on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Stay tuned for that. Excuse me. And then lastly, we got our underdog parlay of the podcast. First and foremost, our last one hit, which was amazing. Rafael Devers got over half a hit. Shohei Ohtani got over 2.5 bases. The Yankees won, and Aaron Judge got over 1.5 total bases as well, which is awesome. We won our money there. Use code Jack the Cash. I'll try to put a little ticker down here so you guys have that, but use code Jack the Cash on Underdog to get bonus money when you make your first deposit. So without further ado, parlay of the podcast for you guys. So first and foremost, I like Bobby Witt Jr. to get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Playing against the Chicago White Sox, he's an elite all-around talent with high contact rates, and he regularly cashes at 1.5. 1+ hit props. Now, this one, coupling that with RBIs and bases as well, should be big help. The second leg of this one I like is Andy Pages of the LA Dodgers over 1/2 of a hit. He's leading the MLB right now in batting average, early 413, 19 hits in limited games. He's got elite contact and power and consistently puts the ball in play, so that's why I like that one. The third one from the Chicago Cubs, Nico Herner over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then once again, this is just a very highly consistent contact-oriented hitter for the Cubs. It's a home game in Wrigley for him. Strong early season form and good history of getting on base against righties, who he will be facing tomorrow, and Carmen Medzanski. And then the last leg of it is the Cincinnati Reds just to, outright win their game tomorrow, and that is $3.90 entry to win 30-87. So yeah, that's what we got for you guys. Make sure you bet responsibly. I'm not a financial advisor, so I am not liable for any losses, just like I will not come after you guys for any wins. Please bet responsibly, and if you have any issues, please reach out to 1-800-GAMBLER, and they will get you the help and resources you need. And lastly, make sure you guys reach out if you have any questions. This podcast is about you guys, the listeners. If you have a question you want me to answer or a topic you want us to address, please reach out by emailing us. You can DM us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and let us know if you'd like to stay anonymous with as well. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notified of the new episode as soon as it comes out, as well as wherever you may listen audioly. We're on Google, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can listen, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, we're on it. So go check us out, subscribe, and as always, till next time, Mini.